So you want to buy a vineyard. Rolling green rose, your name on the label, a glass of your own Cabernet at sunset. Here is the strange part. This is the rare toy where the richest, most sophisticated buyers on earth deliberately choose the version that loses money and then pay a world record price for the privilege. Let that sink in. The people with the best accountants alive line up to buy the one farm the math openly says cannot pay for itself. In Napa, vineyard land runs a median of roughly $175,000 to $180,000 per acre. Prime Valley floor hits $500,000 per acre, and one record hillside deal worked out to about $1.2 million per acre. Not per estate, per single acre. And the grapes those acres grow. In a good year, they might clear a few $100s of profit per acre. In a bad year, they lose money outright. By the end of this video, you will know exactly why that trade still makes sense to a billionaire. What does a vineyard actually sell when it clearly is not grapes? Why is the single biggest cost one that never shows up in the glossy brochure? And when your wine finally sells for $60 a bottle, who is really pocketing that money? Grab a glass. Let us open the books. Side-by-side rate comparison time. Picture a 5-rung ladder from a hobby you can almost justify to a trophy that laughs at your spreadsheet. Rung 1, the emerging region entry. Out in the Midwest and the younger wine regions, bare land runs about $10,000 to $20,000 per acre. In Missouri, plain cropland averages around $8,300 per acre, but once it is a planted, working vineyard, the average jumps to roughly $46,000 per acre. Which brings us to rung 2, the rung nobody puts in the brochure, the establishment tax. Before you harvest one single sellable grape, planting the vineyard costs another $35,000 to $60,000 per acre. That is trellis at about $4,000 per acre, drip irrigation at about $2,500 per acre, fumigation between $1,200 and $4,000 per acre. The vines themselves, and then 3 to 5 years of nursing those vines with zero revenue coming back. You are paying full freight and waiting half a decade for the first real crop. Put a clock on it. 3 to 5 years to your first grape, about 7 years to full production, and 7 to 10 years just to break even, if you ever break even at all. Rung 3, an established secondary region. Lodi, Livermore, the Sonoma Fringe. Here you are looking at roughly $25,000 to $50,000 per acre. In Livermore, cropland with surface water rights was valued around $25,000 per acre. Respectable wine, sane prices. Rung 4 is where the fantasy actually lives. Napa and the Prime Valley floor. Vineyard listings there average around $132,000 per acre. The county median sits near $175,000 to $180,000 per acre, and the very best sites climb to $500,000 per acre. Same dirt, same country, wildly different tag. And here's the kicker that makes that Napa number make any sense at all. Location is a 15 to 17 times multiplier on the exact same fruit. Napa Cabernet hit a record around $9,079 per ton, while that identical grape variety sold for just $550 to $600 per ton out in the Central Valley. Down in District 13, the average ton fetched about $357. You are not paying for better farming. You are paying for the address on the label. In Rung 5, the trophy. Record hillside vine has traded at roughly $1 million to $1.2 million per acre, and whole estate trophies list anywhere from $21 million to $100 million. These estates trade like blue chip art, not like farmland. Just like with your supercar collection, the top rung is not priced on what it produces. It is priced on the fact that almost nobody else can have it. Now, let us talk about what it costs just to keep this thing alive every single year. Cost stack bar chart per acre for a mature vineyard. In one representative study, total annual growing cost lands around $3,181 per acre. And here's the beat most people get wrong. They assume the biggest yearly cost is the land loan, or some gleaming German harvester. It is not. It is human hands. Labor is the single largest recurring line, north of 30% of the total, running from about $1,000 per acre in the heavily mechanized regions all the way up to about $4,000 per acre. where the fruit is farmed by hand. That is 4 times the cost for the same crop. Pruning, cluster thinning, canopy work. All of it is a person in a row with clippers. Stack the individual jobs and you can see where it goes. Canopy management alone is the priciest single operation on the whole farm at about $911 per acre. Spraying is about $728 per acre, roughly 11 passes a year of fungicide and pest control, materials and labor together. Winter pruning and brush removal add about $452 per acre. Then come the lines you cannot skip. Irrigation, where in a drought region, the water rights alone can be worth more than the land. Some drought region, wineries even buy a special policy against irrigation water failure, literal insurance for the season the water simply does not show up. Crop insurance, with a catastrophic tier around $100 per variety, covering a slice of your average yield against frost, hail, fire, and drought. Regulatory compliance, which is its own rising bill. A truck and bus rule at about $40 per acre here. A burn permit at $199 there. Water board fees on every planted acre. And financing. On land that costs you $130,000 to $500,000 an acre, the interest on your loan can quietly dwarf every farming cost we just listed, combined. Now keep this number in your head. Everything we just stacked up, roughly $3,181 an acre to farm, is being spent on land that in Napa can clear as little as $156 an acre in profit. You are spending $20 to earn $1. Notice the trap. The one line that actually justifies a premium wine, the careful human labor, is the exact line you cannot automate away without wrecking the quality you are selling. So how does this thing make money? Here is the twist. The ranking itself is the lesson, because the obvious engine is the worst one. Money flow waterfall from best to trap. Engine number 1, selling wine directly to the customer. The tasting room plus the wine club together make up about 53% of the average American winery's sales, and direct-to-consumer bottles carry margins of 50% or more, versus just 20 to 30% selling wholesale. The wine club is now the quiet giant, making up about 39% of all direct revenue. In fact, club sales overtook the tasting room entirely, turning your best customers into a recurring subscription. Read that again. Your real customer is a tourist standing at a bar with a credit card, not a grocery store buyer. Engine 2, the hospitality itself. The tasting room is not a sales channel bolted onto a farm. It is an experience business, tasting fees, weddings, events, venue rental, a wedding on your lawn, a corporate retreat under your oaks, a $75 tasting flight. None of that is farming, and all of it is where the fat 50% margin actually lives. Engine 3, the silent one, land appreciation. In premium regions, this is the true return. Buy in around $130,000 an acre, and hold while scarcity pushes the number toward $500,000, even $1 million an acre. This is the only reliable asset in the whole equation. The vines can fail, the vintage can turn, the labor bill can balloon, but the dirt just keeps getting scarcer. The crop is almost just something to offset your carrying cost. Engine 4, wholesale, the 3-tier system. Sell through a distributor, and you, the producer, keep only about 50 to 60% of the retail price after everyone downstream takes their cut. You did all the growing, all the waiting, all the worrying, and you hand nearly half the retail price to 2 companies that never set foot in your rows. And Engine 5, the trap, the one most first-time owners assume is the whole business. Selling your grapes at $550 to $650 per ton, the grower earns about $156 in profit per acre, and often nothing at all. Look closely at that knife edge. In the UC Davis math, at $650 per ton of vineyard yielding 12 tons an acre, earns that thin $156, and at 13 tons an acre it climbs to about $780. Drop the price to $550 per ton, and no yield between 7 and 13 tons an acre turns a profit at all. Worse, in Lodi, nominal Cabernet prices actually fell from about $794 per ton to $695 per ton across 25 years. The product got cheaper while every cost got dearer. The engine everyone points to is the single engine engineered to lose. Which brings us to the real question. If the farm loses money, who in this whole chain is quietly getting rich? Margin donut. And it is not the grape grower. Follow one bottle all the way through. The grower sells fruit at anywhere from $550 to over $9,000 a ton, and at the very best, nets a few $100s an acre. Often, remember, nothing. The winery turns that fruit into a bottle and sells it to a distributor for around $20. The distributor marks it up 25 to 30%, pushing it to about $30. The retailer marks it up again, another 35 to 50% or more. And now, it is sitting on the shelf at $45 to $60. Zoom in on a cheap bottle and it gets brutal. Of a $10 bottle of wine, about $7.40 is not wine at all. It is glass, freight, and the distributor and retailer margins stacked on top. There is even a rough rule of thumb in the trade. Grape price per ton runs about 100 times the retail bottle price, so a $30 bottle implies roughly $3,000 a ton fruit. And Napa's $9,000 grapes are chasing $90 bottles. The further down that chain you sit, the thinner your slice. The house, it turns out, is the middle of that three-tier chain, plus the land itself. The distributor and the retailer collect a reliable margin with none of the frost risk, none of the labor bills, and none of the 7-year wait. And the numbers back it up cold. Industry-wide, only about 9% of grape growers earn a genuinely sustainable return, while roughly 40% lose money outright. In some regions, nominal grape prices have actually fallen over 25 years. The one layer of this entire business structurally built to lose is the grower who only grows grapes, which is exactly the layer you are about to become. So, worth it? Let us be honest with the numbers we just put on the table. As a farm, on paper, this is a disaster. You pay up to $500,000 an acre for dirt whose crop clears $156 in a good year. You spend $35,000 to $60,000 more just to plant it. You wait 7 to 10 years to break even if you ever do, and you join a club where 40% of members lose money. The oldest joke in the business fits perfectly. How do you make a small fortune in wine? Start with a large fortune. But you were never really buying a farm, were you? You were buying a lifestyle with a wine label as the receipt, a tax posture, and a long, patient bet that scarcity keeps pushing that land from $130,000 toward $1 million an acre while you sip the losses. Skip the middlemen, sell your own bottles direct at 50% margins, treat the vineyard as a trophy that appreciates, and you can absolutely make the math work. Just know what you are actually buying. Not grapes, not even really wine. You are buying the most expensive glass of sunset ever poured. And for a bored billionaire, that might be the most honest purchase on this whole channel. If you would happily lose money this beautifully, hit that like button and subscribe. We open the books on a new impossible toy every week,